This is crazy. Look, I cannot move.
To murder over 120 million citizens. Open your eyes. People are already disappearing in the USA.
Each year, hundreds of people are reported missing.
That is crazy. I just uploaded a video right here called "FEMA Has a Secret." It's called Citizens Court, and all of a sudden that happened. It's really creepy. Look at here. I don't know if I can. Let me see which button I can use to raise the volume up full blast, but I can't move my mouse. You see, I had the volume low. Did you hear that? It comes and it goes. My computer is being hacked. When we look online, we see plenty of evidence that gang stalking is real. Police have admitted to it. Many news stations have talked about it. Informants have been exposed. And these programs operate all throughout the government. You can do a Wikipedia search for the word Citizens Corps, and you will find that it's tied to like the National Sheriff's Association. They are neighborhood watch groups that receive money for participating in these illegal activities where a person's followed and harassed non-stop. And isn't it something that Department of Health and Human Services is connected to FEMA's emergency management, which pretty much is running Citizens Corps, which is categorized as a non-governmental agency. And then we see they're connected to police, and we know police are connected to our local neighborhood watch groups. Now, when I first moved to Austin, I couldn't figure out why I had neighborhood watch groups harassing me and following me around. Then I started putting the dots together. It's a long story. And I want to give you guys examples of how gang stalkers operate. Let's say you go to get gas, and there's 8 pumps, and you drive a silver car, and you notice 3 minutes later a bunch of red cars come. And let's say you live in a city with 1 million people, and these same people come every time you go to the gas station. Let's say you do it twice a week. They show up twice a week in a city with over 1 million people now. So those are ways you can kind of discern if something's not right. Then let's say you go to your friend's house. A guy in a black and white shirt, red shirt, whatever, he parks he doesn't live there, and he parks the car and just starts walking away. Then when you get into your car, he walks back. A lot of times we'll have spotters too. Let's say you get out of your car and you go shopping. All of a sudden, some guy may say, "Hey," say your first and last name, and wave at you. Sometimes they'll be walking around with smartphones and earphones, and you may then leave and notice 3 cars are down the road. So I'm just giving you scenarios, not to say this is like going to happen to you. This is to give people ideas of how they operate. So, you may have hundreds of encounters like this where people are waving at you saying your name. So this is done covertly. Let's say you go to AutoZone, and then all of a sudden, when you come out, you notice you have 2 cars like this, and they don't park straight in, they park like that. Then they may have a black car or a spotter watching, and then when you come out the store, they're waving at you. I've had experiences like this where I've went into like AutoZone once a year. I got to get maybe a spare bulb for a headlight or something. And then all of a sudden, I'm surrounded. And let's say you're at a gym, you'll notice that they may use kids, adults, and people to harass you. This can be throwing trash at you, trying to provoke you to anger. They may even have a cop person there because they want you to lose your cool. And for me, this has been going on for over 10 years. So they do this to people repeatedly. Excuse me. So they're repeatedly doing this to people nonstop, trying to press their buttons. And you'll even notice, say you're going out, then cops start showing up. They start giving you looks, parking around your car. And universities are involved in this, networking with police and stuff. A lot of it's done under research titles. Neighborhood watch groups, they're handing out free cameras in different cities to homeowners. And you may go to a doctor's appointment, and then the secretary may say, "Hey, do you have an appointment?" The person will be like, "No, I don't." And then when you go to your appointment and walk out, that person follows you. So, let me see here. Oh, and then I had an experience 2 weeks ago. I went to see my doctor, and this guy came in and said, "Hey, you've been following me around everywhere I go." I kind of just thought it was no big deal. He was just pulling my leg, just joking around, which of course he was. Well, at least I thought he was. And I went there days back. Days later, I went to see my doctor again to get a follow-up, and I noticed people started sitting in the lobby with no appointments and leaving when I left. That's when I knew something wasn't right. So they operate through businesses too. They communicate with businesses, people in the workplace, people in the schools, neighborhood watch groups. It could be FBI, InfraGard. It can be some large corporation that's involved in community-oriented policing or emergency management. The list is enormous. So a lot of people say there's no way this can actually happen. I'm sure people tell their relatives, like, "Hey," or their friends, people at school, "I'm being followed and harassed," and they can't prove it because they don't have money for private investigators. So you're going to need to get one, or you're going to want to observe some of these groups and see if you can record them harassing you, so that way you can share with police or take these people to court. So this is the citizen score symbol right here. You'll see if you Google search it, you'll see like a blue star, then a red outline of a star on top. So I'm going to play a little clip here, and then also, actually I thought about playing a clip, but maybe I'm just not going to waste my time. So because it's like 30 minutes, I'll make it short and simple. So we look at the Pulse nightclub shooter. He was part of some group called like GS4 or G4S. It's like a major Department of Homeland Security contractor. They have over 600,000 employees. They have offices like all across the U.S. I mean, and even in different countries. Now, the FBI had this man under investigation for like 10 months, and they stated that the FBI stated that they let him go. Of course, they're going to say that they removed him from the investigation because they don't want to look responsible. But the truth is that when people are being systematically harassed, these people are going to be watching them most likely. Citizens Corps, the emergency management, Health and Human Services, they have their own community policing tactics. And a lot of this information is actually classified under like Exemption 7. So they're not going to reveal to you police tactics which are secret. So there is at times no transparency within the system when it comes as far as matters such as gang stalking, because they're very touchy issues. See, you have most likely pissed someone off in a position with a lot of power and authority. And you'll also notice that a lot of insurance companies, a lot of judges, a lot of the players that have the money in your community are involved in these big groups, and a lot of times they have connections with these groups, and they know that these groups are used for stuff like this, so they can actually have someone targeted. So a person can go to one of these groups and say, "Hey, here's a couple $100,000 grant money, do my work for me," or "Here's 20 grand. And then that can be split up with cops, so you can actually have corporate targeting going on. And Uncle Sam would never know, because he's probably assuming like, "Hey, these organizations can be trusted. And they can to an extent, but at the same time there is major loopholes for abuse within the system through these organizations. So my computer's been acting up. When I touch my mouse or make a video, it speeds up a little bit where it looks like I'm shaking the mouse like this, like real fast, and it's just been acting really crazy. It's pretty much all I wanted to share. Peace. Well, actually, I want to go back on. When we look at the Pulse nightclub shooter, we see that he was harassed by police and he was harassed on the job. When we look at a lot of the targeted individuals online, we hear reports of harassment at work, harassment, in the community. So, what's the coincidence that we have all these targeted individuals online on YouTube stating that they're being targeted, and what's the coincidence of my information lining up with other people's information? Or and then the same for you. You can be a target individual, and you're finding people online that are reporting the same symptoms that you are experiencing, that are reporting the same groups harassing them. So keep that information handy, because you never know in life. There could be a serious lawsuit over this gang stalking. I don't plan on suing. I probably should, but unfortunately I have to live here. So stay strong, peace, make videos, and expose this mess.
Now check this out. I have two Wii remotes. This one has no batteries. This one has the batteries in it. Now look at my arrow. I'm pointing it straight. I'm pointing it to the left. And look at this. All by itself. Now let me go. I'm going to go to the beginning. I'm going to put look at the Wii remote. There's nothing pushing any buttons. And look at this. By itself. The other remote has no batteries. Now let me grab this remote, and you'll see I have a sensor bar right on top of my TV. I'm going to point it to the left. This is being done through hacking. My Wii is being hacked. Pretty impressive.